Going to the next experiment on transformer assembly. Here it's important that you know what is the basic transformer equation, how this transformer action works, why there is a need of transformer. Uh, so in this part, you'll be studying the transformer assembly and performing open circuit and short circuit tests. Right? Open circuit and short circuit tests are ways of computing the equivalent circuit parameters of a transformer. So here what we did, we studied the core, right? So the core was independently made of these kind of stampings. It had an E section and a I section. Each of these sections are laminated, right? These are thin laminations. These laminations are cold rolled grain orientation CRGO. That means they are rolled in a particular orientation so that they have enhanced magnetic properties in that direction. Then what you did was you opened the clampings, you removed the screws, you removed the core, then you unwound the secondary winding. There were two secondary windings in this transformer. You removed the paper, then you removed the secondary winding, okay, and you did not do anything to the primary winding. Then you straightened out those turns, then you again wound them back, making sure that there is no gap, there's no air gap. Next thing was to measure the flux. This is the circuit we are looking at. We are having supply voltage from this side, and this is the matching. This is how because we are winding them in opposite direction, one secondary winding and the other secondary winding, the two windings that you make on top of each other, they are in opposite direction, so they're out of phase. This is a step down transformer whose total voltage should be 12 volt. That means each of these windings should give us 6 volt each, right? Now what our objective is, depending on making different connections, if we connect these two, find the voltage across these 2 points. If we connect these two, find the voltage across these 2 points. So like this, we have to do a permutation combination of every two connections. You have to be careful not to connect two terminals of the same winding. You have to connect two terminals with the terminals of the other winding, okay? So know that this voltage will also be just like how you would be calculating KVL, right? So suppose I'm connecting F1 and S2. S1 is the starting point, F1 is the finishing point of the first coil. Okay, so suppose we are connecting F1, S2. What would be the voltage across these two terminals? So select any direction. So if I'm going from this direction, so plus 6, right? This came first, so plus 6 minus 6 equal to 0. So I will get 0 volt here. 0 is my answer. Then next case, S1, S2. So S1 and S2. If these are connected, what would be the voltage across these 2 points? Let us take a path. So I'm entering from here. So plus 6, which is equal to 12. Okay, so 12. S1 and F2 are connected. That means S1 and F2. If these two are connected, then what is the voltage across these 2 points? Select any point of entering. So minus 6 plus 6, that means 0. And the last case, if F1 and F2 are connected, what is the measurement between S1 and S2? F1, F2 need to be connected. So entering here, plus 6, that is 12. Okay, so should give me a 12 here. These are the measurements we made.
The topic of the experiment is to study the winding of a transformer and assembling a small transformer. So over here we have got a transformer. Okay, it's a step down transformer. So this is the primary winding of the transformer. Okay, and this is the secondary. There are two secondary windings. One has been wounded in clockwise direction and other is in the anti-clockwise direction. As we can see over here, we can see the windings, and the winding inside is of a lower, thinner rod. So inner wire is a primary coil. So inner coil is a thinner wire compared to the secondary winding, since in the secondary winding there will be more current compared to the primary winding. So what we are going to do is we are going to open up this transformer and remove all these stacks, the E and I stacks which are there in the transformer. And so once we open up, we have removed all the this part which are supporting parts, and then once we remove this, we are going to get the E and I stacks of the transformer. Like this one is the E section. So one by one we are required to remove these things. So this is an E stack and this is an I stack. So these are used to reduce the hysteresis and eddy current losses of the transformer. So now what we are going to do, we are going to remove this one by one. So we have removed all these stacks, and then we have to remove this part also. So now we have removed all these stacks, we'll keep it aside, and now what we are seeing is the inner part of the transformer. So this is a varnish paper. This has to be removed so as to get the inner windings of the transformer. So this is the first secondary winding of the transformer. So we'll remove this totally, and then we are going to take this winding out also. Alright, so now we don't have to unwind the primary winding, but we have to unwind both the secondary windings. So we are going to open this wire up, and we just have to remember the number of turns, which is approximately 70 or 72 turns have been done in this. So now that we have opened up, this is the first winding, which is, as we can see, this is in one direction, and when we'll open the second winding, it would be in the other direction. So now we have removed the first winding of the transformer, which the secondary winding, first part, and now we are going to remove the second winding of the transformer. So now we have removed the varnish paper, and this is the secondary coil, the second secondary coil of the transformer, which will be removed in the opposite direction. So we'll remove this again. Okay, so let us remove this again. Okay, suppose now we have done all the unwinding part. Now when we remove this all, then again we'll obtain the same length of wire which we have obtained. Now the next thing is that we remember that we don't have to remove the inner part. Now we again have to wind it up so that the number of turns remains the same. So what we have to do is, first, after removing all the wires, we have to do this to be a straight line, a straight wire. This should be straight, so that the flux distribution is equal in all the windings, flux linkage is equal in all the windings, and this also has to be arranged in such a way such that no two windings should be the distance between two windings should be nearly equal. So very carefully we have to do this part. So like this should be very close to each other, and there should not be enough gap, otherwise we won't get the desired results as required. So very properly we have to wind this again. So once we wind this, suppose, so we'll wind the first wire in this direction, in the second. So now in this way we'll complete the winding of first wire also, and then again we'll put the varnish paper so as to insulate the two windings. Okay, suppose consider that this is all done, then again we'll take the second wire, and then we'll put it in one of the holes, and again start the winding process. Again we have to make this to be in a single line properly, and then we'll wind this again properly, and again we'll put all the secondary windings in the opposite direction. So both must be wounded. One should be in clockwise direction, other should be in anti-clockwise direction. Now we proceed to the testing of the transformer. To test the secondary windings of the transformer, so what we have got finally is these two wires are the two ends of the strand which we took out for first wire, and these two windings are the two strands of the other winding of the secondary winding. So what we have to ensure that the two ends of the same wire must not be shorted. So now again we are going to test the polarity of the transformer. So we are going to do one connection between these two windings and one connection between these two windings. So resultant voltage in that case, when flux will be in a similar direction, we are going to get an additive voltage, while when the fluxes are in the opposite direction, we are going to get the zero or nearly zero voltage. So now what we have done, we have connected the primary to the transformer and we are getting the 100 volt. Now we have to take this to 230 volts. So this is a step down transformer. So from 230 volt it will step down the voltage to nearly 6 volts. So the voltage that we are getting across one winding is showing to be 5.76 volts. This is across one winding. Across the second winding, what we see is again nearly 6 volts. So there is this should actually be 6 volts. However, the difference is due to some air gap, which we were telling earlier that the winding should be straight. So due to that and air gaps, we are not getting exactly the same voltage. Although now what we are going to do is we are going to connect these two windings. So we have connected these two windings, and the resultant voltage we are going to see in across these two terminals. So as we can see, both the voltages have got added up and we are nearly getting 12 volts. Alright, so this means that both the fluxes are in the same direction and the voltages are additive in nature. The second thing which we have to verify is, now we are going to loosen this up and we are going to connect the other two windings of the transformer. Now what we should get is nearly 0 volt. As we can see, we are getting 0.57 volt. This means that now the flux are in opposite direction and they are cancelling out each other, as a result of which we are not able to get any voltage across the secondary terminal. So this brings us to the conclusion of the experiment. Thank you.